Tiffany Stratton is Miss Money in the Bank. Drew McIntyre wins the men's side, immediately cashes in and gets screwed by CM Punk. And the greatest of all time decides to call it a career. It's a WWE themed show, which starts now. All right, this is Bloodline Sports, anything and everything sports talk between family. After all, it's all relative. All right. As always, I am the Jews, and across from me is my partner,
the DOS Man.
The DOS Man. All right, man. So why don't we just go ahead and start with this? Your man came out Saturday night and said, the last time is now. I'm calling it a career. John Cena, I won't say it out of respect. So, your guy came out and said, hey, I've got some big news. The last time is now. So, thoughts?
Not the phrase I was expecting to hear Saturday.
Yeah.
I honestly thought he still had a few more years left in him.
Yeah.
But
came out, and it was obvious because the shirt he was wearing, you were freaking out because it was like, oh my God, he brought the red shirt back on. Oh, the red shirt. And I'm reading and it says, the last time is now. And I was like, how long is it going to take before he hits him?
When then he held up the towel.
Yeah. And the towel said?
What was it? The last time is now?
The last time is now. So.
Yep.
John Cena comes out.
Let's just say that was very soul crushing.
Yeah.
Whenever he held up the towel.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
There's a picture of you somewhere dressed up as John Cena.
Yeah.
And if I find it, I'm going to put it on here so people can see. Because you are a big John Cena fan. You got
he's got
autographs and all kinds of stuff from him.
He's got a special place in my heart. He was a part of the first ever WWE segment I watched.
Yep.
I remember that we had just moved in to one of our new houses, and I turned on the TV, and the first thing that popped up was Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
And it was a segment between John Cena and The Miz and the build up to their WrestleMania 33 match.
Yep.
And
that is correct.
Ever since then, I've been hooked to WWE.
Yep.
I don't know what it was about John Cena. I don't know if that was that, as The Rock says, Fruity Pebbles attire. I don't know if it was the charisma he had.
Yeah.
Something about it just made me hooked onto not only him, but WWE. So he holds a very special place in my heart for really introducing me to wrestling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were a big John Cena fan for a long time.
Yeah.
Until Roman Reigns came along.
Yeah.
And you kind of got on with Roman Reigns?
I just had to start watching after he started being part-time.
Yes.
So that sucked.
Yeah. After he decided to go Hollywood.
Yeah.
Along with Dwayne and
and soon to be
Stone Cold and
soon to be Roman too.
And soon to be Roman, yeah. So and then you started watching Roman Reigns, and then along came the Fiend Bray Wyatt, who you were terrified of.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you couldn't even watch the show because he scared you so much.
I don't know why he scared me so much.
Let's see. How old were you? You were what?
9.
About 6, 8, 7?
No, I was like 8 or 9.
That was about 6 years ago, right?
When
you started watching WWE.
Oh, when I started, I was 7.
Okay, you were 7
or 8, but it was 7 years ago.
Okay, so 7 years ago.
It was at I don't know, but it was a while ago.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You were like 7 or 8 when Bray Wyatt came out with the Fiend character, and you were freaked out.
Yeah, I don't know why that scared me.
I have no idea.
I'm not even joking. I had to stop watching WWE for 9 months because of that.
Yeah.
The first, the last, I don't even remember. It was the space that I stopped watching. Things had changed so much that whenever I watched WrestleMania 36, that was the first pay-per-view I watched whenever I got back into it.
Yeah.
I had no clue what the heck was going on.
Yep.
I had no clue what half of the matches were. I didn't know John Morrison had returned. I didn't know that. Oh, I don't know. I just didn't know any. I didn't know John Cena was gonna have a match with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I didn't know about anything. that happened in that 9 month. I literally completely stopped watching wrestling out of fear of that mask that would pop up on my YouTube recommended.
I remember. I mean, we'd be there. We'd be sitting there watching Raw or SmackDown, whichever one it was. And I mean, as soon as we heard,
even the Firefly Funhouse theme,
you would run out like, I'm out. Deuces. Yabba dabba do.
Yeah, I still don't know why that scared me so much.
Yeah. But then you came around, and then you enjoyed watching.
And now the exact opposite has happened.
Now the exact opposite has happened. So, and then of course Roman Reigns came.
The Tribal Chief happened.
The Tribal Chief,
and that was the last 4 years up until WrestleMania 40.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and you've gone from John Cena to Roman Reigns to Bray Wyatt back to Roman Reigns, and this whole time, that has been nothing but. Oh, hell yeah. One guy, Stone Cold. That's it. That's it for me. One guy. So John Cena comes out and says, hey, guys, I started having conversations with TKO.
Yeah.
And I threw this idea at them.
Yeah, in the post-conference.
And, this is the right time. And so he says that this year, 2025, going into 2025.
Yes, he's gonna
retire.
Yep, and he's gonna plan to do 30 to 40 days throughout the whole year.
Yeah, 30 to 40 appearances, and that includes pay-per-views, which he said he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. He already said he's going to be at WrestleMania
and the Elimination Chamber.
And he said, I'm going from January, from day one, all the way to December. So. He said, watch, I'm gonna do some things. I'm gonna, I want to thank everybody for everything, all the support that they've given me throughout the years. I'm gonna give you my everything. And we're gonna see what we can accomplish this year. The question is, and you and I talked about this, is this where John Cena finally breaks the record held by Ric Flair? 16-time world champion.
Yep.
Will John Cena become the first ever 17-time world champion? He talked about having that dream match with Randy Orton. Remember that? So could it be that at some point Randy Orton could be the world heavyweight champion? And then they could have a match in WrestleMania? I don't know.
I've already thought of like 100 different storylines that could happen.
Yeah. And you had one interesting one earlier today when we were having lunch. What did you say that was?
Okay, so here's what it is. It sounds very basic, very simple, but it still could be entertaining. So, sometime between now and SummerSlam, Randy Orton turns heel and goes after Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
And he wins the title away from him at Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the Royal Rumble, John Cena enters it and wins it, tying Stone Cold's record in the process. And he goes after Randy Orton for the title at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
On night 2 in the main event and wins world title number 17.
Yeah. And which Royal Rumble was the first one that Stone Cold won?
1997, if I'm correct.
Okay. And he then faced who?
Shawn Michaels.
And what shirt are you wearing right now?
Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels.
That's why I had it that way. So, yep. That was his first of how many Royal Rumbles did Stone Cold win?
3.
Yeah. That's right. Hey, the man is bad. He was bad. He's still bad. I mean, so, and then we talked about last year when we were on Spotify, we talked about how we went to WrestleMania 38
a few years ago.
And we watched Stone Cold take on Kevin Owens.
Open up a can on him.
Yeah. And that was a special time for me because your mom and I went to WrestleMania 17 in Houston.
Oh, you've told me.
Houston will have a problem. Stone Cold goes heel. I lose it. I don't watch WWE after that.
Until I get into wrestling.
Until you get into wrestling. I was disgusted by the fact that he gave in. You know what? For me, it would have been okay if Stone Cold just turned heel and that was it. The thing that turned me off was the fact that he aligned himself with Vince McMahon. because his whole persona, and the reason why a lot of people, including myself, were attracted to him was because he was against the boss.
Yeah, he would stick it to the boss
He would
every
stick it
chance
to the
he
boss.
got.
Yeah. So we resonate with that because, in our jobs, everyday life, people don't like their boss. I've had some good bosses. I've had some bad bosses. So, but at that time, Stone Cold really resonated with a lot of people. And him aligning himself with Vince McMahon is what threw me over the edge. He could have gone heel.
He kind of already was
and
heelish.
He talked about it. He said, when I was holding that chair, he said, I really thought, is this the right thing for me? He said, I almost turned around and hit Vince with the chair. But then he thought, no, I've got to see this thing through. Let's go for it. He lost some popularity. It wasn't the greatest time after that for him.
And he went back in less than a year.
And he went back less than a year. I mean, of course, he had some really great moments, with McMahon and Kurt Angle, the little cowboy hat, Jimmy Crack Corn, I don't care, and all those segments. But
yeah,
and I missed all of those. Of course, I kind of watch them now. And you and I talked about going back and picking up, watching Raw
the night after,
and we did that. And so we're going to try to watch all of those.
Catch back up through the rest of the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression. And really the beginning of the PG too.
Yeah. So, Ruthless Aggression was the beginning of the PG because whenever John Cena took fully over, that was the start of the PG era.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Stone Cold. We go from Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, Triple H era. Turns over to John Cena. And that was what year?
Like whenever he fully became the
Ruthless
face?
Aggression, yes.
Oh, Ruthless Aggression? Well, whenever he fully became the face, that was in about 2008, right as the PG era started.
Okay, so 2008. So for 16 years, almost 16 years, well, I guess 14 years really, John Cena carried WWE.
Yeah.
And then Roman Reigns kind of was in and out.
Because the fans didn't like him.
They didn't like him because if the company tried to push him to be a heel, it didn't work. If they tried to push him as a babyface, it was even worse.
I feel like the fans were always initially still were upset over the breakup of the Shield, that they never really got attracted to him because they never wanted to see him break up. And even then, I'm a fan of him and I agree to this. They pushed him way too soon.
They did.
Almost instantly after he went singles, WrestleMania 31 main event against Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Of course, Seth Rollins cashed in.
But in hindsight, instead of pushing Roman at that time, they should have pushed Rollins. Because Rollins actually, when they broke up the Shield, right off the bat, when they broke up the Shield, the one guy that just took off was Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And Seth Rollins is still Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
To this day.
He's a more evolved version of Seth Rollins.
Yep. So he is the visionary.
The revolutionary. He is Seth freaking Rollins.
And his laugh is?
Kind of a jokerish laugh.
So. Anyways.
And then of course.
They pushed Roman too early. I think they should have pushed Rollins. But it worked out.
It worked out. I honestly believe to this day, I don't know. Yeah, they really should have pushed him more because he was more popular.
Yeah.
Even though he's the one who initially broke up the Shield.
Right.
I don't know what it was, but something about him just made the fans like him.
Yeah.
And of course, you have poor Dean Ambrose over here, who never really got any popularity at all.
Dean Ambrose, I mean, they could have pushed him a little bit better in WWE, but the guy's thriving in AEW right now.
As John Moxley.
John Moxley, he is, every time he comes out, people go crazy. Yeah. That was the best move for him. Leaving WWE, go to AEW, he is in the right place.
Is he still the IWGP World Champion right now?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's won so much there. He's done so much with him and all the former other stars and the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yep. Well, I mean, he's the IWGP champion right now. He's been the AEW World Champion. I mean, he's held several different titles.
Yeah.
In AEW, so it's been a good thing for John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, to have gone to AEW. Back to WWE. Roman Reigns pushed a little too early.
Yeah.
Heel didn't work. Babyface even worse. Back to heel, and then really, really got bad whenever he beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. I mean, people were hating him. They were just booing him.
The night after on Raw, 7 minutes straight, he was booed.
Yep.
And because he was going to cut a full promo, since the fans were booing so loud that he couldn't talk, all he could say was, "This is my yard now."
Yeah, this is my yard now. But then something happened. Something happened. What happened for Roman is probably the best thing that could have happened for Roman. And that thing was, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
When Paul Heyman took over as the wise man for Roman, that's what got the bloodline started. That is what made it for Roman.
Yeah, but I feel like really for that to have even happened, a little pandemic had to happen.
Well, yeah.
That we can't mention.
Yeah.
But yeah, see what you're going with here.
Right. But what happened was when Roman went under the wing of the wise man Paul, aka Paul Heyman, the reason they did that is because Roman was not good on the mic.
No.
And so they put him under Paul Heyman, who is phenomenal. He cut some phenomenal promos.
Yeah.
That gives Roman a chance to have another voice speaking for him, making him that heel bad guy, but everybody likes guy.
Yeah.
Because of that. But it also gave him a chance to watch Paul Heyman front row, how he worked the mic. And then Roman got better on the mic.
Oh, yeah. He's improved so much over the last 4 or 5 years.
Right.
Because back then he was all like, at WrestleMania, I will defeat The Undertaker.
Yep.
And it will become my yard. And nowadays, he's all like, what? You think this is your show, Cody? This is my show. And all that. He's just gone through all that improvement.
And he starts laughing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
he just sounds much more confident on the mic now.
And now we have the head of the table.
Yeah.
Solo Sikoa. And what talk about not working the mic, not knowing how to work the mic.
Oh, yeah. No. The bloodline from wish.com.
Yeah. So they go back to him backstage, and the only thing he says is what?
Oh, my gosh. This is horrible. So after they had because apparently they have a post show now.
Yeah.
They had them interviewing Solo, and oh my, this is worse than when Roman said suffering succotash. That's how bad it was. Solo did this. And it was worse because he was all out of breath.
Yeah.
That's probably why he sounded like that. He went, tell you what, acknowledge me. And then he just
walked off.
It's
acknowledge me.
With his little goons, Tama Tonga Tongaloa, and now Jacob Fatu. Because he's in WWE now.
Yep. So, anyways, Roman, blah, 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 big fan, whatever. You in the bloodline, your tribal chief.
Yeah.
But back to your original tribal chief, John Cena.
The original tribal chief.
Your original tribal chief, because that's the guy that you acknowledged back in the day.
You could say original head of the table.
So,
but
I know you didn't start watching John Cena until 2017, whatever it was.
Right as he went part-time.
Right as he went part-time. There's been some things that you've watched him do as part-time in WWE, but there are some things that you've watched him do as you watch videos and stuff from back in the Raw, Ruthless Aggression era and all that stuff. Give me your most memorable match of John Cena's career.
Like, that I've seen or throughout his whole career?
Throughout his whole career, and I'm sure you've seen it.
His most memorable match. Probably the one that comes to mind the most when I think of good John Cena matches is his I Quit match against Randy Orton at Over the Limit 2010, I believe. 2009, 2010.
And that was the last time they faced each other.
Was that really the last time they faced each other?
I think so.
No, I remember because they faced each other on the 1000th episode of Raw. because that's when the original World Heavyweight title and the WWE Championship got unified. They fought for it in a ladder match with Randy Orton coming out on top, and I think that was the actual last time they faced each other.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So,
but yeah, I have watched a lot.
So,
but yeah, that's probably have to be the one that comes to mind whenever I think of good John Cena matches. And if we're going by good John Cena moments, like memorable moments, no matches, just moments, the first thing I think of is his Royal Rumble return in 2008 after he went out with the injury the year before.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was at the Royal Rumble in Madison Square Garden. It was on the road to WrestleMania 24.
Yeah.
And he came out at number 30. And I could still hear on the replay JR's voice going, "It's John Cena! It's John Cena!"
Yeah.
And the crowd was going ballistic, and I thought it was cool. And he went to the ring, destroying everyone and won the whole thing. Of course, he lost at the WrestleMania because for being the greatest of all time, he's actually got kind of an underwhelming WrestleMania career. But that's besides the point.
Oh, yeah.
But that probably have to be the most memorable moment and the most memorable match that I can think of that I've watched back would have to be his I Quit match against Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Because I think at one point he has him handcuffed behind the post and he's beating him with a kendo stick, and the ref keeps asking him, "John, do you quit?" And he keeps saying, "No, never gave up." And I think he ended up winning that match.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have to be the thing that would come to my mind when thinking of his whole career.
Right.
Now, his career that I've watched, it's not really much, but
No.
because most of his matches were like short little matches, really.
Yeah.
The only really match of his that I can remember that I enjoyed a lot was his SummerSlam match against Roman Reigns in 2021 for the Universal title.
Yeah.
And even then, I really only remember that because that's when Brock Lesnar returned.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So, I can't say that I like John Cena, but I can't say that I'm a overly huge fan of his. But come out, this will be his last year, 2025, and then he said, "I am not opposed in coming back in some capacity, but my in-ring career is over."
He's not going to be like Ric Flair and come back 25 different times, have many heart attacks during his last match.
Yeah.
And you know what's even worse? He's retiring the jorts too.
Yes. The jorts are going by.
This means no more Fruity Pebbles.
No more Fruity Pebbles.
The next, he said on the post conference, this is his exact words: "The next time you see me, after I retire, I will be in a suit and tie."
Yeah. I don't know. I think he'll bring the jorts back. If he comes in and makes an appearance on a show in some capacity, he has to come out with the jorts on.
And the Fruity Pebbles.
And the Fruity Pebbles. So, all right. Question.
Okay.
For you. If you had the opportunity, if you're in front of John Cena right now, and you had the opportunity to say anything to him, what would you say?
That's a good question. I'd probably say thank you.
Yeah.
For all the things you've done.
Yeah.
Throughout your long and illustrious career. That's probably what I say.
Yeah. So, in reality, he is your first love of WWE.
Oh my God! Now I'm starting to get all emotional.
I'm trying to make you cry, but no. In reality, you grew up watching him.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm gonna try to find that picture of you dressed as John Cena.
Oh yeah, there's multiple in our house.
Yeah. So
yeah, and I actually, because whenever I still remember this Christmas 2017, I got the deluxe edition of WWE 2K18.
Yep.
And it was a special little John Cena box.
Yep.
It came with a John Cena figure that I still have.
Yep.
And it came with this little plaque thing that had a signature of John Cena whenever he won the 16th title from AJ Styles at the 2017 Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Him and Charles Robinson, Lil H, holding up his hand.
Yeah.
And on it is a little 1-inch 4x4 square that is an actual canvas piece from the 2017 Royal Rumble.
Yep.
And
that's right.
Yeah. And that's pretty awesome.
It is.
And I have some more stuff, but I've got. He's probably the figure I have the most other than Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Well, and he's up there.
Yeah.
Right next to Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
So
in the attire that he won that record championship in, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's yeah.
All right. So thank you for everything that you've done. Would be your words to him. So, you know,
I actually thought I was about to cry there for a second after you asked me that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of like when, I look back, I didn't get to watch Stone Cold retire because I wasn't watching WWE. I didn't get to see him have that last match with The Rock.
Yeah.
I missed all that. I probably would have been pretty emotional myself just because of the fact of, the very first time that I watched Stone Cold, I was not watching wrestling. Like I said, I went from watching, being a kid and watching WCCW, Saturday Night from the Sportatorium, the Von Erichs, the Freebirds, Dusty Rhodes, Kamala, One Man Gang, all those guys. I went from watching that wrestling to not watching any wrestling at all. And then in 1997, your mom and I we had been married for, 2-3 months. And I remember she was in the kitchen cooking and I was looking for something to watch. And I'm flipping the channels and I get to USA. And USA used to be known for showing good movies. So I thought, let me check out what's going on in USA. Maybe they have a good movie. I click on there and it was like by design. I mean, I click on it and the first thing I hear, glass shattering. This guy, bald-headed guy, comes out, shaking his head, doing the number ones. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And I was immediately hooked. With Stone Cold. I mean, I was in. I mean, that was during the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah.
And I was hooked. I mean, as soon as I saw this guy, I was like, who the hell is this guy? I mean, I immediately was just hooked. And then watching the storyline, going with him and Vince McMahon and all that, it just made it so much better and everything that was going on. And I got hooked. I mean, this was in 97, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then WrestleMania 17 was in what, 2001. 2001. So for 4 years, I did nothing but watch. Back then, it was Monday Night Raw. But before that, it was Sunday Night Heat.
Yeah.
It was Sunday Night Heat. And then I would watch Monday Night Raw.
That was like their SmackDown before SmackDown, right?
Yes. Yeah, that was like a one hour show or so on Sundays, Sunday Night Heat. So your mom and I would watch Sunday Night Heat, and then on Mondays we would watch Monday Night Raw. And it was like religiously. Every Monday was, because I was working weekends at that time. Every Monday was my last day of the work week. Well, that was my Friday, and then I had Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday off. So Monday nights, I was like, okay, I don't have to go to bed early because I was getting up at 3:00 in the morning to go to work at that time. So Monday night, I can stay up and watch Raw, and I can watch Stone Cold. And it was religiously every Monday night, your mom and I would sit down and watch Raw, and we would order a pizza, wings, and a Coke. And that was our routine for every Monday night.
Wow.
Watching Raw for 4 years. So good memories. And that's what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying about getting emotional because I was, if I had watched Stone Cold retire, I probably would have been pretty emotional myself. So
I'm starting to get that way too. Really,
yeah.
I'm starting to watch Raw every Monday.
Yeah.
Like really watch it.
So anyways, all right. So John Cena retiring and your board back there says what?
Thank you, Cena. The GOAT.
The GOAT. And this is after you said Roman Reigns was the GOAT.
Well, not necessarily.
But anyway, so thank you, John Cena, the GOAT. So there you have it. John Cena calling it a career. 2025 will be his last hurrah. Day 1, January 1st, all the way through December. We'll see what happens. 17th World Championship. Who knows?
It better happen.
Well,
either that or an Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
To make him a Grand Slam champion. Because he's actually never won it before, surprisingly.
So, all right. So going back Saturday night, Money in the Bank, we watched the very first match that they kicked off with was
The
the men's Money in the
Again.
Bank.
I guess they're gonna start kicking off with that every year
Yeah.
now.
And you had LA Knight,
Yeah.
Jey Uso,
Yeet.
you had Drew McIntyre,
Yep.
you had who else?
It was LA Knight, Jay,
Chad Gable.
Yep.
Somebody else was in there. I don't remember who it
Andrade was in there.
Andrade was in there.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was a good match.
Yeah.
I expected somebody else besides Drew McIntyre to win.
Yeah.
And I was kind of surprised when he took the briefcase. So Drew McIntyre wins the men's Money in the Bank. And then the next match after that was
the World Heavyweight title match. Was it? Was it the World Heavyweight title? Or was it?
Was the Intercontinental title between Sami Zayn
and Braun Breaker.
And that was a good match. Braun Breaker, I like that guy.
Yeah.
He is nonstop, 110%, 500 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So, good match. Sami Zayn came out on top and kept his Intercontinental Championship. Yeah. And then after that, you had...
was it the World Heavyweight title after that? Because I feel like it was the World Heavyweight title after that. It would have to be.
Yes, it was a World Heavyweight title between Damian Priest and
Seth
freaking Rollins. And the whole time, Damian Priest is looking to the back. He knows McIntyre's coming. And Seth Rollins was doing the same thing. They know Drew McIntyre is coming at some point. And finally, we get to a point where we have a moment.
Yeah, I was about to say.
A botch of botches.
A horrible one.
Horrible one. Seth Rollins has Damian Priest.
He hits the Avalanche Falcon arrow on him.
Yep.
And he goes to pin him. Referee Rod Zapata counts 1, 2,
and then stops. Damian Priest never kicked out.
And Seth's looking at him, he's all like,
what's going on? So
I thought Montreal Screwjob Part 2 was about to happen.
But anyways, I'm sure what ended up happening was that Drew McIntyre was supposed to come out as the referee was going to count 3. His music was going to hit, which made the referee stop. Never happened. The music didn't come on until like
5 seconds later.
No, it was like 10 seconds.
Yeah, 10. Then he came out.
And anyways, so whole deal. Drew McIntyre comes in, cashes in, makes it a triple threat match.
Yep. And then, well.
He's about to win the title.
What do you know?
And then you hear the crowd go crazy as one CM Punk
interferes
again, and hits Drew McIntyre with the belt.
Yep.
Knocks him out. Damian Priest covers. 1, 2, 3. Retains. McIntyre screwed by CM Punk again.
Yep. And not only did he screw Drew McIntyre this time, but he also inadvertently screwed Seth Rollins.
And Seth had some choice words for him.
Corey Graves had to sit there. Since they're good friends, he had to sit there and prevent him from going after him.
Yeah. Not only did he screw Drew McIntyre, he also screwed Seth Rollins. So watch out. I see a triple threat, something coming up in the near future.
Yeah. And it got even worse in the post show.
It did.
Because Drew McIntyre came out on the post show as they were talking. Or at one point while they were talking, he came out. He started looking into the camera, and you know what I heard? I think before I heard him say, "I know where your family lives." I'm not even joking. I think I heard him say that at one point. And some refs start coming out. He starts pushing them back, and then Adam Pearce comes out, the Raw general manager, and then Drew McIntyre elbows him right in the neck. And it looked like for a second he was about to come out of retirement because he was actually a former wrestler. For a long time.
Yeah.
And so Wade Barrett had to come in and stop. He was like, no, stop. If you hit him again, this happens, your career is over.
Yeah.
And it was all crazy and stuff.
Yeah. And
I actually found out earlier today, Drew McIntyre has indefinitely been suspended. And there's going to be more details on the Raw, which so happens to be in about an hour and a half.
Yep. So we'll be watching that intently.
Yes.
What's going to happen? I don't know. Here's the other thing. Is the Wyatt 6 going to come out or not? Ooh. They kind of went by the wayside. They made this whole hoopla.
Yeah.
Whole build up.
only
They
to,
showed up,
yep,
did one thing, and they haven't been back.
only to just target Chad Gable.
Yeah, I don't get it.
They're gonna haunt him.
So, anyway, so Damian Priest retains the World Heavyweight Championship, and then we move on to the next match, and that is the Women's Money in the Bank.
Yes, and that was a botchy match.
That was a botchy match. They had botches all over the place.
Yeah.
So you had, who did you have in that match?
Naomi,
Io Sky,
Tiffany
Stratton,
Chelsea Green,
and Lyra Valkyria.
And then there's a sixth person too.
Yeah. Was there? I thought it was just 5.
There was 6.
I don't remember who they was.
Yeah, no, me neither.
So, anyways, they had botches left and right. I mean, they had some good moves here and there, but there was a lot of stuff that they missed. I will give them though. They did do a little more risk moves than the men did. I mean, you had some. I was like, ooh, that had to hurt.
Yeah.
So, but in the end, Tiffy time wins the Women's Money in the Bank.
After shoving Chelsea Green off the ladder into 2 tables.
Yep.
After they had both set them up together earlier.
Yep. They set the tables up together, and then she shoved her off the ladder. Chelsea Green goes through the 2 tables, and then Tiffy Stratton climbs the ladder, grabs the briefcase, and now she is Miss Money in the Bank.
Yes.
And she says she is going to bedazzle that thing. She's going to paint it pink. She's going to bedazzle it, blah, blah, blah.
Why not?
She was asked in the press conference, is she going to go after Liv Morgan? And her response was like, well, considering I'm on SmackDown, I think I'm going to go after Bayley. You can go after either one of them. Just because you're on SmackDown doesn't mean that you can't go after the Raw Women's Champion.
Although I do think she would like to stay out of the whole Judgment Day business.
Yeah. So.
And then they also kept asking her about stuff, and she kept saying a magician never reveals her
secrets. Yeah.
And you know what kept playing in my mind? Whenever she kept saying that? Abracadabra. And for my last trick, part of the Eminem single, by the way.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. It was kind of glad that Cena took up half of the post-show conference.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I will answer
one more question.
Any and everything.
Okay, this will be the last question. No. I'll say when is the last question. Go. One more question. Go. And he just kept dragging it on. That was funny.
Yeah.
So Tiffany Stratton, Miss Money in the Bank. We'll see who.
I would say that's actually pretty good for her career because the fans like her.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I mean, she's gotten over with the fans.
I just like that Triple H is pushing the newer talent. Yeah. Her and Braun Breaker.
Yep.
And Carmelo Hayes. I just like the fact that he's starting to push newer talent.
Yeah.
Because the guys that they have right now aren't going to be around forever.
No, I mean, you got John Cena's walking away. Heck. Roman Reigns is going to walk away at some point.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes is almost already 40, so it's a matter of time before he walks away.
So you've got some aging stars. Sami Zayn is getting up there.
Yeah. Kevin Owens
is getting up there. So yeah, you're going to have to start. You're going to start seeing the changing of the guard. So, so Tiffany Stratton wins Miss Money in the Bank. And then we go to our main event,
which was probably the dud of the night.
The dud of the night. Your main event was the dud of the night.
Yes.
Cody Rhodes.
I just got a brilliant nickname for them. The Blood Lies.
The Blood Lies. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton.
Randall Keith Orton.
The Bloodline.
Yes, and it was
made up of Solo Sikoa,
Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu. They had Tonga Loa sit out on this one.
Tonga Loa sit out, and of course he was interfering. I mean, it's classic Bloodline. So, dud of a match, back and forth, blah blah blah.
The usual 6-man tag team,
because
there just has to be a 6-man tag team match.
And then in the end, you have Solo Sikoa, of course, pin Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
And then we have the whole acknowledge me. So
I don't know if he didn't have the headset hooked on right, but it just sounded so weak because it was like acknowledge me.
Yeah,
he was literally from out here. It didn't sound like he was from out here. It was
I am a robot. So yeah.
He needs some of that Roman Reigns training.
Yeah, but so Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton fall to the Bloodline. That was your Money in the Bank.
Another contract wasted.
Another contract wasted.
I don't think Triple H likes the Money in the Bank that much.
Yeah. So Drew McIntyre, shortest reign as Money in the Bank winner.
I really don't even think. I feel like it was just over 30 minutes. Because I did my research. Right now it says Kane has the shortest reign of 50 minutes, but
Excuse you?
There was no way Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn could have been like 30 minutes. And then the World Heavyweight title was like another 15 or whatever.
Well, so Kane is still the shortest.
Well, maybe it just hasn't updated yet. Yeah. But he won it in 2010, 2011, and he held it for 50 minutes. He cashed in and won the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah. So Money in the Bank, overall thoughts. What would you give it as a pay-per-view overall?
I'd probably give it like about probably like 6 out of 10, I guess. It's just a pay-per-view. 6
out of 10. So that's what I was going to say.
It's just there.
I was just going to give it a B. A B minus. Yeah. For me, it's a B minus.
It's just there. It's just one of those pay-per-views that's there.
It was just there. So,
but now with this over, I believe we are on the road to one of WWE's biggest extravaganzas and the next pay-per-view to get 2 nights, SummerSlam.
That's right. And there's rumors that one former head of the table, will make his appearance back then.
Former
head of the table. Remember?
You're calling him the former head of the table?
Solo Sikoa says he's a head of the table, and he's got the whatever red pepper looking things, whatever it is that he's wearing. What do they call the coup or whatever?
The Hakiti or something like that.
Hakiti or whatever. So,
but no. If Solo Sikoa is the head of anything, he's the head of no personality.
Yeah. Now, the rumor is that Roman Reigns is going to come back and is going to take on the Bloodline, but it's going to be Bloodline Part 1 versus Bloodline Part 2 because there's rumors that Jimmy and Jay will come back with Roman.
Yes.
So,
well, really it's Jimmy because Jay's doing his own thing.
Right, but they're talking about Jay going back and doing that. Jay he's over with the fans, but he's not getting the push. Yeet. Yep. So he's not getting the push that, I don't know.
It's just me, Oos.
It's just me, Oos. That's right. So we'll see what happens. But that's the rumor right now that Roman Reigns will come back at SummerSlam. He will have Jay and Jimmy on his side to take on the Bloodline.
Don't even get us started on the rumors about The Rock leading the Bloodlines.
Yeah. The behind the scenes final boss, true
TKO high-ranking board member.
And you call him the behind-the-scenes head of the table.
Yeah.
So
because he really is. He kind of really is because he's up there. He's got a good position.
Yep. So, but B minus for me. Money in the Bank. Excited to watch what happens tonight at Raw.
Oh, yeah.
Excited to see what the buildup is going to be from here all the way to SummerSlam.
Yes.
Which happens at the end of...
the beginning of August. Okay. Yes. And so there's a really important match that's already been scheduled like the past few months, and that's going to be the World Heavyweight matchup between Damian Priest and the King General, Gunther.
Gunther, that's right, because Gunther won
King of the Ring.
So he gets a title shot, and he will take on Damian Priest.
I'm being honest. I think he wins it.
You think so?
Yeah. I think they're running out of excuses to keep the title on Damian Priest.
But why would you make Gunther the champion before LA Knight? I don't know. I mean, I keep going back to the whole deal with LA Knight. I don't understand what they're trying to do. Why this guy is so far over with the fans. I don't understand what they're waiting on.
Because he doesn't need a belt.
Well, I understand he doesn't need a belt, but at some point, the fans are going to want him.
Well, he's feuding with Logan Paul right now.
Right. But at some point, I don't know. I just don't understand why they would make Gunther, the Ring General, why they would make him champion before making LA Knight a champion. But whatever. I think that...
Well, Gunther basically won the second coming of Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I like LA Knight. I think LA Knight needs to go ahead and get a championship push, right?
He's gonna get that eventually.
Yeah. So, anyways, so Gunther taking on Damian Priest at SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight Championship. We'll see what happens. Interesting happening things in WWE building up to our next main event, which is SummerSlam.
Yes.
All right.
Rising back to an all-time high.
Yep. The Paul Levesque era.
Yes.
So,
cannot wait.
Can't wait. So, all right, man. Well, that's all the time we have for today. So we hope you enjoyed it. As always, hit that like and subscribe button wherever it's going to be. And hit that little bell so it notifies you when we put new content out. But as always, you're my pride and joy, and I love you. And this is Bloodline Sports. It's all relative.
Goodbye, everyone.